Welcome to World Rare Coins. If you've ever wondered what rare treasures could be hiding in your change jar, you're in the right place. From valuable pennies to forgotten silver dollars, we uncover the stories, secrets, and surprising values of America's rarest coins. Top 1 today, we're diving into the story of a coin that looks simple at first glance, but hides a mystery that has stunned collectors and numismatists alike. It's a coin from the midst of World War II, the 1943 United States 5-cent piece. But don't let its everyday denomination fool you. This little nickel has secrets. And for the lucky few who find the right one, it could be worth a life-changing sum.so. Sit back, grab your magnifying glass, and let's explore what makes the 1943 nickel one of the most talked about coins in American history. Let's take a step back in time. The year is 1943. The world is at war. The United States is pouring every ounce of its resources into supporting the war effort, and that included the metals used in coin production. Nickel, the metal, was essential for making military armor and weapons. So, the U.S. Mint made a big decision. They removed nickel from the 5-cent coin. Instead of the usual alloy, the 1943 nickels were made using a unique composition: 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. This change wasn't just practical. It accidentally created a collector's dream. These silver war nickels have a slightly different color, and if you know where to look, a special wartime mark gives them away. Now, how can you tell if you've got a 1943 war nickel? Look above Monticello on the reverse side, the back of the coin. If you see a large mint mark, a bold P, D, or S over the dome, you're holding a wartime silver nickel. That big mint mark was introduced for the first time in 1942 to help quickly identify silver content coins, and it stuck around through 1945. These details are important, but what makes some of these 1943 nickels truly rare isn't just the metal. It's the mistakes that's right, errors. Beautiful, bizarre, one-in-a-million minting mistakes. And they're what every coin hunter dreams of finding. One of the most valuable errors linked to the 1943 nickel is the 3/2 variety. This happens when a die originally made for 1942 was mistakenly repunched to say 1943. If you look closely, you can actually see the ghost of a 2 underneath the 3. These overdate coins are extremely rare, and spotting one could instantly elevate your coin from pocket change to treasure. There's also the mystery of misplaced mint marks, double dies, off-center strikes, and even the rare instances of incorrect planchets. Coin struck on the wrong metal blank. Each of these mint errors adds to a coin's rarity and value. Collectors love them because they're not just coins, they're accidents frozen in time, pieces of history that slipped through the strict quality control of the U.S. Mint. And here's the thing. Most people who find these rare nickels don't even realize what they have. They sit unnoticed in coin jars, passed around in pocket change, or tucked away in old family collections. But for the trained eye, the 1943 5-cent piece could be the start of an incredible discovery. Collectors all over the world are actively searching for these coins. Why? Because they're not only historically significant, they're getting harder to find in top condition. Coins that are uncirculated or nearly flawless are the holy grail. If you've got one with sharp details, full steps on Monticello, and brilliant luster, you may be looking at something truly exceptional. But let's not forget the star of the show. The rarest of the rare, the coin that has collectors holding their breath at auctions and exhibitions. The 1943 nickel with unique errors, preserved in perfect condition, verified by top grading authorities. And now, the part you've been waiting for. If you're lucky enough to own one of these special 1943 5-cent coins with a rare error and in exceptional condition, it could be worth as much as $96,000. That's right, $96,000 for a 5-cent coin. It's unbelievable, but it's true. That's the magic of coin collecting. What seems ordinary can become extraordinary when history, rarity, and condition come together. So, if you've got a pile of old nickels sitting around, it might be time to take a closer look. The next great coin discovery could be waiting in your own collection. Top 2, we're going to talk about a coin you've probably seen 1,000 times before, but after this video, you'll never look at it the same way again. We're diving deep into the story of the United States 5-cent coin from the year 1975, and trust me, this little nickel could be worth a whole lot more than just 5 cents. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that millions of people used for everyday purchases, buying candy, paying phone booth calls, or just tossing into a jar at the end of the day might now be sitting quietly in someone's drawer, holding a value most people wouldn't believe. So sit back, stay tuned, and keep your eyes peeled. Because if you've got one of these rare nickels, you might be holding a mini fortune. Let's start with a bit of context. The 1975 Jefferson nickel is part of a long-running series of coins featuring the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse side. On the reverse, you'll find Monticello, his beautiful Virginia estate. These coins were designed for durability and mass production, and yes, millions were made. So why is it that one of them could be worth so much money today? Well, that's where things get interesting. While the 1975 Jefferson nickel was never intended to be rare, over time, collectors and numismatists have discovered something remarkable. Certain nickels from that year come with extremely rare errors or die varieties that make them worth far more than their face value. And when it comes to coins, it's those small mistakes that can lead to big money. One of the most talked about error types is what's called a double die. This happens when the coin is struck twice during minting, and you can see doubled images, especially in the lettering. Imagine looking at the word Liberty and seeing a ghost-like shadow behind every letter. That's the sign of a double die. And if it appears on your 1975 nickel, you've got something special. But that's not all. There are also off-center strikes, where the coin is misaligned during minting, leaving part of the design missing or pushed to one side. These aren't just interesting to look at. They're rare, collectible, and valuable. There's also a handful of known planchet errors, where the coin is struck on the wrong metal or features unusual discolorations, cracks, or flaws that occurred during production. All of these mistakes were never meant to leave the mint, but some of them did. Now here's what really gets collectors buzzing. Some 1975 nickels have been found in absolutely pristine condition. We're talking about coins that somehow never entered circulation. No scratches, no nicks, nowhere from years of jingling in someone's pocket. These are called mint state coins, and the higher the grade, the higher the value. Combine a mint state coin with a rare error, and you've got something that serious collectors are willing to pay massive amounts for. If you're lucky enough to have a coin like this, one that checks all the boxes, rare date, mint error, and excellent condition, then congratulations. You're not just holding an old nickel. You're holding a piece of American history that could be worth thousands. And when I say thousands, I mean it.so. How much could a rare 1975 Jefferson nickel really be worth? Well, brace yourself, because the most valuable example of this coin ever recorded, featuring an extraordinary error and preserved in near-perfect condition, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $92,000. That's right. 5 cents turning into $92,000. Unbelievable? Maybe. But in the world of coin collecting, it's these rare moments and unexpected treasures that keep the excitement alive. Coins are more than just money. They're tiny time capsules, holding stories, history, and sometimes surprises beyond imagination.so. Next time you dig into your change jar, take a second look. That worn-out nickel from decades ago might just be your ticket to something extraordinary. Top 3, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1979 United States Jefferson nickel, a coin that millions of people have used without a second thought. But as with many things in life, it's what's hidden beneath the surface that counts. Because while most of these coins are worth just 5 cents, a rare few are worth far more. Let's begin with the basics. The 1979 nickel features the familiar image of Thomas Jefferson on the front and his grand estate, Monticello, on the back. It's a design that's been around for decades and is instantly recognizable to almost anyone in America. But what makes some of these coins so valuable isn't the design, it's the rare, unexpected mistakes made during the minting process. That's right. It's the errors, the flaws, that turn this everyday coin into a collector's dream. One of the most sought-after types of errors in the 1979 nickel is called a double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once by the die, creating a doubling effect on the text or numbers. If you look closely and see that the words, "In God We Trust," or the date, 1979, appear to have a slight shadow or doubling, then congratulations, you might be holding something very rare. Another highly collectible error is the off-center strike. These coins are misaligned during production, meaning part of the design is shifted or missing entirely. The more off-center it is, the more valuable it becomes, especially if the date is still visible. And let's not forget the most elusive kind of minting mystery, planchet errors. Imagine a nickel that was mistakenly struck on a penny planchet. or even a foreign coin blank. These wild, once-in-a-lifetime mistakes create coins that don't quite fit in, and for collectors, that makes them incredibly desirable. But even without an error, a 1979 nickel can still carry value if it's in pristine, untouched condition. These are called mint-state nickels, and they're extremely hard to find because most coins were used in everyday life. But every once in a while, one escapes circulation and stays in perfect condition, as if frozen in time. Now here's the exciting part. When you take one of these rare 1979 nickels, combine a major minting error with a perfect or near-perfect condition, you're looking at something truly special. A piece of American coinage history that collectors would pay handsomely to own. And when we say handsomely, we mean it, because the most valuable known example of the 1979 Jefferson nickel, featuring a rare mint error and preserved in exceptional condition, has been estimated at a value of $89,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 5-cent coin that could be worth $89,000. Isn't that incredible? From something you might have spent without a second thought, to a collectible treasure that could change your financial future. So, here's what you should do next. Go check your old change jars. Look through that collection you inherited from a family member. Even glance through the coins you get back in everyday transactions. You never know where one of these hidden gems might be waiting. It only takes one rare coin to turn an ordinary moment into something unforgettable. Top 4, we're uncovering a fascinating story about a coin that most people have probably held in their hands, but few realize just how valuable it can be. We're talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1984. Yes, the Jefferson nickel, but this isn't just any nickel. Stick around because this small coin could potentially be worth a fortune, and you're about to find out why. The 1984 Jefferson nickel might look ordinary at first glance, but as any seasoned collector will tell you, appearances can be deceiving. While millions of these nickels were minted and circulated, a very small number of them hold a rare distinction that catapults their value into the stratosphere. So, what exactly makes the 1984 nickel so special? The answer lies in the fascinating world of minting errors and coin conditions. These quirks, imperfections, and anomalies can make all the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth thousands of dollars. One of the rarest and most exciting types of errors on the 1984 nickel is the famous double die error. This happens during the minting process when the coin is struck twice in slightly different positions. The result? Letters and numbers that appear doubled or blurred, creating an eye-catching and unique effect. If you examine your coin closely, you might see this doubling in places like the date or the word Liberty. For collectors, spotting this error instantly makes the coin a prized find. Another intriguing category is off-center strikes. Imagine a coin where the design is pushed to one side, so part of it is missing or cut off. These off-center nickels were accidental byproducts of the minting process, and their rarity and odd appearance make them highly desirable among collectors. Then there are planchet errors. Cases where the coin is struck on the wrong metal blank or where flaws like cracks or clips occur. These unusual imperfections tell a story about the coin's journey through the mint and can add considerable value. Now, condition is everything when it comes to coins. Most nickels from 1984 were used daily, jostled around pockets, cash registers, and coin jars. That wear and tear drastically lowers their value. But mint-state coins, which look almost brand new with no signs of circulation, can command premium prices. When you combine an error like a double die or off-center strike with a mint-state condition, that's when things get truly exciting. Collectors around the world actively seek out these rare and well-preserved nickels, driving their prices higher and higher. And if you happen to come across one of these special 1984 nickels, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, just how valuable can this coin be? The rarest and most well-preserved 1984 Jefferson nickel with significant mint errors has been valued at a staggering $98,000. That's right. $98,000 for a 5-cent coin. It's almost unbelievable that something so small and common in our daily lives can hold such incredible worth. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. Every coin has a story, and some carry surprises worth thousands. Top 5, we're zooming in on something you might think of as just pocket change. The United States 5-cent coin from 1987. But hold on tight, because this nickel has some secrets that could make it incredibly valuable. And if you love coin collecting or just appreciate cool collectibles, you're going to want to listen very carefully. The 1987 Jefferson nickel is a coin most of us have seen thousands of times. It carries the classic image of Thomas Jefferson on the front and Monticello, his famous home, on the back. While this design has been familiar for decades, the real excitement comes from the rare errors and unique conditions that some of these coins exhibit. Mistakes that turn an ordinary nickel into a collector's dream. So, what makes the 1987 nickel so special? Why are collectors buzzing about certain coins from this year? Well, the answer lies in minting errors, those rare moments when something goes slightly off during the coin production process, creating a coin unlike any other point. One of the most fascinating errors is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is struck twice, but not perfectly aligned the second time, causing letters and numbers to appear doubled or shadowed. Imagine seeing the word Liberty or the date 1987 with a clear doubled effect. That subtle imperfection instantly makes the coin stand out to collectors. Then there's the off-center strike error. These nickels were accidentally misaligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be cut off or shifted dramatically. The more off-center the strike, the rarer and more desirable the coin becomes, especially if the important details like the date and Liberty are still visible. Another rare but incredible find is a planchet error, where the coin is struck on a wrong or defective metal blank. This could mean a nickel struck on a copper planchet or a coin with cracks or clips on the edge. These unusual mistakes are prized for their uniqueness and rarity. But here's where things get even more interesting. Condition matters just as much as the error itself. Most 1987 nickels you'll find have been circulated, meaning they've been handled, worn down, scratched, or faded. However, mint state coins, those that are nearly flawless and look like they just came off the mint press, are much harder to come by. When you find a rare error in mint condition, collectors will pay top dollar for it. Combining a significant mint error with pristine condition is like striking gold in the coin world. These nickels aren't just rare. They're the holy grail for collectors who want something truly special. What's the real-world value of one of these exceptional 1987 nickels? The most prized examples, featuring major mint errors and preserved in near-perfect condition, have been valued at an eye-popping $81,000. Yes, you heard that right. $81,000 for a single nickel. That it's wild to think something so small and familiar can hold such extraordinary value. But that's the magic of coin collecting. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story is worth a small fortune. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare nickels, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more fascinating coin discoveries, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss out on any hidden treasures we uncover next. Thanks for watching, keep exploring those coin jars and collections, and as always, happy collecting!